28 nanometers process node. This is where modern mobile chipsets truly began. Around 2012, Qualcomm's Snapdragon 800 and Apple's A6 both ran on this node. The number refers to transistor size smaller means more fit in the same space, unlocking more performance. At 28 nanometers, phones became genuinely powerful, though heat and efficiency had real limits. The node stayed relevant for years, appearing in budget chipsets well into the late 2010s. 20 nanometers process node. The jump to 20 nanometers was short-lived but important. TSMC introduced it around 2014, and Apple used it for the A8 inside the iPhone 6. More transistors, smaller die area, modest efficiency gains. However, the underlying transistor architecture hadn't fundamentally changed, so the improvements weren't dramatic. 20 nanometers was a stepping stone, confirming the industry could keep shrinking, while quietly signaling that shrinking alone wouldn't be enough along. FinFET Architecture. This is the shift that changed everything. Earlier transistors were flat structures, and as they shrank, electrons leaked through even when switched off, wasting energy and generating heat. FinFET solved this by wrapping the gate around the transistor channel on three sides, giving far better current control. Less leakage meant better efficiency, and better efficiency meant chip makers could keep scaling without hitting a wall. Every node from 16 nanometers to today's 3 nanometers is built on this foundational change. 16 nanometers and 14 nanometers process nodes. These were the first FinFET nodes produced at scale. TSMC's 16 nanometers and Samsung's 14 nanometers were different implementations but delivered similar results. The Snapdragon 820 ran on Samsung's 14 nanometers, Apple's A9 on TSMC's 16 nanometers. Compared to 20 nanometers planar designs, these nodes delivered a simultaneous jump in both performance and efficiency, something previously very difficult to achieve together. Performance per watt became the metric that defined every chipset generation that followed. 10 nanometers process node. Qualcomm's Snapdragon 835 arrived on Samsung's 10 nanometers in 2017 and was genuinely impressive. But this is where node naming started becoming complicated. Samsung's 10 nanometers and TSMC's 10 nanometers weren't equivalent in transistor density. The label was beginning to reflect marketing decisions as much as physical reality, and that gap would only widen from here. 7 nanometers process node. Apple's A12 Bionic in 2018 was the world's first 7 nanometers chip, fabbed by TSMC, pulling Apple decisively ahead. Qualcomm's Snapdragon 855 also used TSMC's 7 nanometers and performed strongly. Samsung's own 7 nanometers Exynos, however, underperformed, making clear that node name and node quality are entirely separate conversations. At this scale, quantum effects became a serious engineering challenge, making precision manufacturing exponentially harder with every generation. 5 nanometers process node. Apple's A14 in 2020 introduced 5 nanometers higher density, better efficiency, another generational step. Qualcomm's Snapdragon 888 followed on Samsung's 5 nanometers and developed a reputation for running hot. This illustrated something critical. Node number alone doesn't determine real-world performance. Manufacturing quality, chip design, and thermal management all contribute. TSMC's 5 nanometers and Samsung's 5 nanometers produced measurably different results in actual devices. 4 nanometers process node. Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 on Samsung's 4 nanometers continued the heat problems, so Qualcomm's response was decisive move to TSMC. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 on TSMC's 4 nanometers ran cooler, sustained performance better, and immediately restored confidence in the platform. Apple's A15 and A16 also operated on TSMC 4 nanometers variants, maintaining efficiency leadership. The 4 nanometers generation proved that foundry choice matters as much as the node number on the spec sheet. 3 nanometers process node. Apple's A17 Pro in 2023 was the world's first 3 nanometers consumer chip, packing around 19 billion transistors using TSMC's refined nanosheet architecture. Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite followed on TSMC's 3 nanometers and delivered the biggest performance leap Android had seen in years. The reason 3 nanometers beats 4 nanometers isn't just a smaller number, it's higher transistor density, refined transistor architecture, better leakage control, and years of accumulated manufacturing refinement built into every successive generation. Why the node number is not the whole story. Since around the 10 nanometers era, node names stopped being literal measurement. Today they are generational label. What actually matters is transistor density per square millimeter, power efficiency at a given performance level, and manufacturing yield. TSMC's 4 nanometers nanometers and Samsung's 4 nanometers are both called 4 nanometers, but they produce measurably different results in real devices. A chip on TSMC 4 nanometers can outperform one on Samsung 3 nanometers depending on design and execution. Understanding this is what separates reading a spec sheet from actually understanding